Hello, my name is Jake. I am doing the comic book on Spider-Man Deadpool single issue. Basically, these are two of my favorite superheroes, so when I found a comic with them both in it, I was really excited. It's ran by Joe Kelly and published in 2016 by Marvel. The artwork was by Ed McGuinness. Kelly has written the whole entire Spider-Man Deadpool series, and he's done some DC comics as well. Though his main comic book base is the Spider-Man Deadpool series. This comic book is 20 pages long. It fits into the larger overall comic book Marvel universe. It features an older Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who's already established with the Avengers and has left them. And it serves another story in the overall understanding of what's going on. And it satisfies fans who have been wishing for them to have a story between these two characters. Now, this is about, a quick summary of this is it's about Deadpool and Spider-Man working together to defeat Dormammu and Hydro Man. And we see them come together, see how much Spider-Man hates Deadpool, and we discover Deadpool's secret motive for wanting to work with Spider-Man. This issue, upon reviewing it and reading reviews, is rated very well. It has a 98% positivity on Google. IGN has a 9.1 out of 10 stars, and Goodreads has it at 4.1 out of 5 stars. It's very well liked. So now, we'll go on the hero journey. Whoops. So now, this page 2, they're in trouble. They're both heroes, though you could make a case that Deadpool is an anti-hero, because, that's anyone that knows Deadpool knows he's an anti-hero, whereas Spider-Man's a typical hero. Deadpool helps them escape via his supernatural powers, so we have a supernatural aid right there, as he is distracting this Dormammu guy who's in hell. And we really get a sense of how much they don't like or how much Spider-Man is annoyed by him with these talking. Then we see here how Deadpool breaks his hip in order to get more leverage so that Spider-Man can reach his sword. And then we travel in time to the back to now where we get the call to adventure, which is that Spider-Man's currently fighting Hydro Man, has him stopped, and Deadpool shows up, which you can kind of make a case that this whole thing with Deadpool is a tribulation for Spider-Man on to being a better hero than before. And we see more supernatural aid when Deadpool uses a time-traveling technology tool, or teleportation device, I guess, to take Spider-Man to where they end up in hell. Which is kind of like when in the article it says that a lightsaber can be a supernatural aid. Well, it's not magical per se, but it works. So this is now Spider-Man's call to action. Now we see that Deadpool is using his brain, but putting brains from millennials into these mindless people to help beat Dormammu, and this is the Helper Challenger test of the comic, in which this was a challenge that Spider-Man and Deadpool both had to overcome, and they had to use a helping and help each other. And they end up winning because these mindless ones turn back on each other, and also he stole brains from millennials. I don't know where, but yeah. And he also used a grenade as a brain, so that was. And then we see more supernatural aid where they teleport back, and Spider-Man drops him because he's done with him. He doesn't want to work with him. But we have we now have what the supernatural aid was, and we discover the tools that were there, and Deadpool ends up getting his hand blown off because Spider-Man lets go of those little creatures. And now we have the inner turmoil that a character goes through while trying to decide what to do. And we see how Spider-Man is really struggling with giving up being Spider-Man to just be Peter Parker, or to give up being Peter Parker and just be Spider-Man. And that's very difficult for him. And then we have a revelation that Hydro Man is still around, still alive, and that they now have to stop him. So now we have them fighting him, discussing what to do, and then we have a final test of, is this going to work? Are they actually going to succeed and destroy him by Spider-Man throwing Deadpool with a bunch of grenades inside Hydro Man? I don't know why you can't just throw the grenades, but oh well. And then we go on this journey home, basically, to wherever they go. And we see Spider-Man basically telling off Deadpool, saying that he doesn't need his help, he doesn't want anything to do with him. And we discover why Deadpool wants to work with Spider-Man, and that is that he is seeking atonement, which is a big thing in the hero journey. They are seeking atonement for what they've done in the past, and he wants to be better, supposedly. He's asking for help, and he wants to work with him and learn from him. And Spider-Man basically tells him no, and Deadpool just says bye. And Spidey says that he hates him, he needs so much therapy. And then we discover the ultimate motive and the ultimate truth of why, we're kind of already going in the circle again, because now we see what is Deadpool called to adventure, actually. He's already made his atonement in return, but that was all just a fake thing. We discover that he actually set this all up. Dormammu wasn't real. It was all acting. And we discover that he's actually wanting to kill Peter Parker. And he doesn't know that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. He wants to still be friends with Spider-Man, even though he's going to kill his supposed boss. So, that's basically, it's two different hero journeys. Spider-Man's still on the transformation, and he hasn't really accepted what it is he has to do to succeed with both things. He feels like he has to choose one or the other, because he basically does. And Deadpool has gone through the whole entire hero's journey and is now redoing it all over again, because it's Deadpool. And it's really interesting to see how they did that and made it so that way we know what they're doing. We see the hero's journey, and we know that this is going to happen every issue, probably. And so, while there's going to be an overarching, which is this, Deadpool going after Peter Parker, overarching hero's journey. So, it's really interesting, and it's really cool. I can't wait to read the rest of them, actually, to discover how that goes with two different heroes having their own heroic journey and being the main characters. Anyway, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this. And I do recommend reading this if you ever have the chance to.